it. Let's hear Jamaica, your 8.5-minute mini media conference. And then we will go to CCJ and then OECS. Jamaica.
I think Stacey. Oh, I thought you.
Yes, I'm back. Okay, are we ready to begin?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stacey Ann Brown. Welcome to the sit down with the Jamaican Judiciary. I am your moderator for this afternoon. And the purpose of this sit down is to share with the Jamaican people the new initiatives that the Jamaican Judiciary has implemented in order to tackle this long-standing issue of the backlog of cases in our court system. To address this issue, we have with us our court spokesperson, Mr. Rohan Thompson, and I now introduce Mr. Rohan Thompson to you and invite him to take the podium.
Thank you so much, Stacey. Thank you so much. I just want to say good afternoon to my media colleagues and yes, starting the video there. Just fixing my video. Yes. Good afternoon to you again, my colleagues in the judiciary and my friends in the media. We are quite excited today because the court has launched upon a new initiative that will definitely and significantly dent this case backlog issue that we have been encountering for such a long time. Courtesy of our Chief Justice, he has implemented what we are now proud to establish, the case, well, let me start, the differentiated case management system. This system is the technique, a very crucial technique, I must say, where the case flow management that help us to match the court resources appropriately to the various case types and complexities in the system. This system will allow the cases to be classified in six categories. And they are the simple, standard, complex, highly complex, transit, and committal. Other initiatives have been birthed from this development, such as, and this is something that I'm quite proud to speak of, the fast track court, where all the simple matters will be heard in that court and the possibility of a disposal might be on the same day, if not the following day, either through a guilty plea or what we are now proud of to establish, which is mediation. And mediation, I mean, this is where cases don't normally go through this rigorous trial. And we're finding a lot of solution to mediation. I must also point out the benefits of this differentiated case management since our Chief Justice has implemented it. The benefits are the accused, yes, the accused man, and I'm sure this will be good news to the accused man, where they spend less time on remand, which will reduce the overcrowding in the remand centers and the lockup. And I'm sure our penal officers and our police officers will truly benefit from such a situation. 95% guarantee that the matters that are set on a particular date for trial will be heard. There's really no adjournment. And this is what the differentiated case management has brought to the courts. The police and the attorneys, and this is quite crucial because we keep hearing attorneys coming to court saying that they have another matter in another court on the same day that a matter was also scheduled. So the police and the attorneys will have better control of the officers as well. Police officers booking double matters on the same day. This will be a thing of the past. There will be also a major reduction in the number of mentioned dates, which will save time and money for the victims, the victim family. I can't rule out the victim family, keep leaving them out. The accused and the accused family as well. They will benefit from this differentiated case management system, which I'm so proud of. As a judiciary, we are very passionate about the core values as it relates to the efficiency and the accessibility and the accountability within the justice system. Hence, the reason for this crucial development that we call the differentiated case management system. When the court should have access to justice in an efficient manner, the likelihood of what we call jungle justice will be a thing of the past. There will be no more. And I just want to say that the court have also provided easier access. Before, the court wasn't so easy to access enough. First, you have to come down to the courthouse to find out what is happening. That is a thing of the past due to this differentiated case management. And again, I must say, which I'm so proud of, indeed, because I've been within the judiciary quite a number of years, and I've seen where the cases have been going through, coming over and over again. I'm just saying, what is happening here? But our Chief Justice have solved it. The differentiated case management system has allowed people to access information, and they can visit our website, which is www.judiciarycourt.com. They can click on the court schedule or call our customer service hotline, which is 876-633-7301. There's so much more I can say on this case management system, but I know I'm confined to a time limit, so I'll ask if there's any question that would like to be asked.
Yes, Mr. Thompson, I have a question for you. So, we've all heard the promises that you are making regarding this new differentiated case management system.
Yes.
And what you hope it will deliver. But wouldn't you agree with me that this new system is merely a band-aid on a gaping wound of systemic delays and adjournments in the court system?
No, I must say with an emphatic no. This is a system that was implemented by our Chief Justice. And since this implementation, I must say that we have seen a significant reduction in the number of adjournments before the court in these cases. We have seen, and I must say that data is there to back me up on this differentiated case management system. For example, in March of this year, we have seen where within the Supreme Court, I'm just giving an example, I'm not going to touch the different courts as yet. In the Supreme Court, within March alone, I have seen a significant reduction in terms of the amount of disposal. And I have a number here, and I must tell you, the number for March in terms of the amount of cases within the Supreme Court that have been disposed is 25. Never before has that been heard, never before. And I've been there for years, and never before. And I'm proud, I'm quite proud of this system. And this system will benefit the public. This system will allow the court system to be viewed in a manner that people will be proud to be associated with such a court system.
I need to interject. Sorry, your time is up, Jamaica. We're on to 8 minutes and 32 seconds. So thank you very much. I can see your passion and clear concern. So my immediate feedback for Jamaica, thank you so very much for starting us off on a very strong leg. So you can imagine the other groups having to beat back. So great, a good start. So in terms of critical feedback, Rohan, you need to spend some time adjusting the camera.
Yes.
Before you come on, right?
So
So technically, there's that because we didn't see your entire face. So that's the technical piece around it.
Yeah.
Concerning your gestures, your whole body was moving side to side. So that could be a great distraction. And it's because of your passion. So again, remember we spoke about gestures. We need to be able to control the gestures because in front of the camera, it's magnified, right?
Yes.
Great. You have something, when you get the video of this, look at the smacking of the lips because it may come naturally to you, but then it becomes a distraction. You've always been also fixing your spectacles, right? So look at the video again. That's right. Look at the video again and address those things. I love your adjectives. Quite excited. It's new. It's putting a dent. But you've used the word proud too often, so it became quite repetitive. When it hit us first, excellent. I'm proud about this, right? And I like the hard data that you introduced, the 6 categories, the 95%, the 25 disposed of in Supreme Court. Hard data, definite passion, definite concern, but your statement was too long. It went to about 4 minutes and something when you were only allocated 2 minutes for that opening statement, so the journalists couldn't get in more than one question. So the time management, because if you go on a segment that says 8 minutes, that's all you've got, you know, right? So the time management, but what a powerful start. Indeed. Thank you, Jamaica.
Come on, all right, no problem.
Yeah, cool, wonderful.
So the feedback I would want to give, first of all, congratulations. I know, Miss Bailey, you have your camera on. It was well positioned. Compared to the last time with the nervousness of appearing on camera, I'm seeing that dissolving away. So well done there. Just building on what Madonna shared and looking at how you responded to the reporter's question. And at this time, I would want participants to drop in the chat any other suggestions. Let's keep the learning and the knowledge sharing flowing. Any other suggestions and feedback, because we don't have time, we can't entertain all in the chat, or just simply commendations to Team Jamaica. But one of the things I want to flag is it's one thing to say an initiative has been driven and led by your Chief Justice. It's another thing to make the Chief Justice be the face for the implementation of this heavily technology-driven initiative. I would want to use caution on that and to use the Chief Justice leadership and foresight and stuff strategically, right? And then when you answered the question by the reporter, when she said, wouldn't you think that this is just a Band-Aid on a deeper wound, you responded in the negative. And you said, no, I wouldn't say, no, you said, no, this initiative is led by the Chief Justice. What you can say, because we're trying to manage not responding in a negative, just simply say what I am saying is that our statistics speak differently. Our statistics for the differentiated court management system has us excited and shows that there is hope for the reforms that we anticipate or plan or whatever. So I just want to flag those two things there. But the passion was there, the sincerity, the connection with the reality and pain points of your audience was there. So well done, Jamaica.
Thank you, Jamaica. And may we have CCJ? Are we ready?
I saw DK's camera on, but then it stopped. I'm not sure if they're having technical difficulties.
I'm not sure what is happening. Ria is supposed to be the spokesperson. Let me see if I can get her.
In the meantime, I have OECS, are you ready?
I think we can go ahead.
Tomorrow, yes. Okay, brilliant. Okay, let me time you. Brilliant. I'm ready.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to all of you joining us in person and virtually here today for this media conference facilitated by the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. We thank the media houses for accepting our invitation and being present today, and look forward to receiving your questions this morning after the presentation. The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court was able to keep the wheels of justice turning when the world's health crisis hit the world, the COVID-19 pandemic. Indeed, a large part of the move to become a digitally driven court is a full implementation of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court e-litigation portal. Last year, the court achieved a significant milestone, completing the first phase of implementation of the e-litigation portal for all 9 member states and territories. Joining us today is a media spokesperson for the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, Ms. Melissa Fleming, who will give us an introduction to the e-litigation portal and the benefits the courts expect to receive from the introduction of this innovative and timely system. Mrs. Fleming?
Good afternoon, and thank you for your invitation. The e-litigation portal will increase the transparency of court services, access to courts by litigants, provide speedy resolution of cases, and greater cost savings to court users and their governments. It cannot be overemphasized that the court stakeholders deserve a modern, responsive system of justice equal to that of any developed region of the world. However, this idea cannot be achieved without the increased reliance on modern technology like the e-litigation portal. I would like to take this opportunity to highlight some key benefits of the e-litigation portal. Firstly, the e-litigation system has improved transparency. Once documents have been filed, they cannot be deleted or tampered with by anyone. All parties have immediate notice of all filings. Secondly, the e-litigation portal has improved access to justice. This is not a system just for attorneys, but litigating persons who are able to file documents at the Service Bureau. Another important benefit of the e-litigation system is the improvement of case management systems. Court-driven management allows for quicker decisions. The judge has the same time access to all documents filed, therefore no third-party delay, leading to shorter dispositions in periods. The e-litigation also has reduced costs and introduced saving systems in a period where we continue to encourage the reduction in the court's carbon footprint in line with the UN 2013 agenda. With that being said, I now open the floor to any questions from the media.
Good afternoon, Ms. Fleming and Summer Fadner from Choice TV. Ms. Fleming, why has the case backlog been persistent throughout the years? And how will the court avoid a repeat of this?
The case backlog is an issue that is caused by several factors. And the East Caribbean Supreme Court, we are happy to note that the resilient nature of the e-litigation portal addresses most of these issues. The remote filing, the immediate access to file documents, and improved case management systems reduces case backlog. We are encouraged by the success. So as far as we've seen, over the 35% reduction since the introduction of the e-litigation portal.
And how will the court avoid a repeat of this?
The e-litigation portal would reduce this because of the effective filing of documents. The court sees all documents and are able to manage the documents on a day-to-day basis, and therefore you would not have the backlog.
Thank you. And my final question. Don't you think that the unreliability of internet connectivity could cause the e-litigation portal to be a disservice?
Can you repeat that question, please?
Sure. Don't you think that the unreliability of our internet connections could cause the e-litigation platform to be a disservice?
No, let me explain that to you. The internet connectivity has nothing to do in relation with the e-lit portal. If there is an interruption of the connectivity, there are ways and means for the persons who are using the portal to contact the main office 465-5521 to address the situation, sorry.
Thank you for your clarification.
All right. Thank you everyone present here today. This is the end of our media conference. We really appreciate the time you took to spend with us at the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court as we informed you of our newest innovation, that is the e-litigation portal, and the expected benefits to all stakeholders. We thank you for partnering with us, and we will continue to bring you updates on this system. Have a good day, and from all of us at the team at the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, I am Shamara Cherubin Forsyth, and I look forward to meeting with you again.
Thank you, Team OECS. So you you took 6 minutes, and the assignment was for 8.5 minutes. Okay. First feedback, again, thank you very much. And technical feedback, Melissa, the lighting, like non-existent. And then the angle, not position center. Okay, so you're aware of that. So that's good. Your responses were written, and therefore it didn't connect emotionally with your audience. And that's something, if even we have to write, it's better to use cue cards with just some keywords, because what will come over would be stilted and no connection. And because of it being written, it was spoken in the passive voice, which again diminishes the emotional connection. I didn't hear any cases. Remember when we spoke about proof points, we gave examples of proof points, and definitely we need to have a story or an example or an illustration. And I didn't hear, forgive me if I did not hear any proof points, any further evidence, any data in respect of the increases. You identify the benefits of different publics, but I didn't get any hard data to connect with. That's 1, 2. Yes, the responses quite crypt, and again, some of the techniques we covered, I didn't hear them. Now remember when the interviewer asked, there was a very long pause, and I think you're just trying to collect your thoughts, right? So let me ask Carolyn to jump in here for her feedback on the techniques we covered today.
So all around, remember, we're looking at the moderator. We're also looking at your ability to identify some killer questions. And then, of course, we're looking at your responses. So first of all, at the moderator level, the moderator did a very excellent job summarizing why we're here. Her tone was pleasant, as well as her concluding remarks. Now, I noted some terms that were used by the spokesperson, like happy to note. You talked about improvements. I did also put a note that a great stat was shared. I didn't write down what that statistic was, but there was a proof pointed to use, and I put a little note to say excellent stat. Apart from the reading of the script, which we are reminding you that in an actual media conference, that is not something that you'd want to do. There was, in terms of the response to that very powerful statement that the journalist asked, and I hope that that response that you have developed is something that you would further develop and enhance, and in fact is accurate, okay? Because that's a very real question. Can the system support internet fluctuations. If I'm in the middle of uploading something and I get current, internet goes down on my end, what's my situation? Maybe all the system is designed to do is to support at the portal end, and that's the full responsibility and liability of the judiciary to ensure the portal stays running and data isn't lost in the event of electricity, in the event of internet shortages. So I would suggest that response be beefed up, because that's a very important question. Amplify it to discuss all aspects of utilities. So you're basically talking about business continuity. How do you ensure that the same thing that we're trying to avoid by the ease of access, ease of processing, now that we've gone online and now we're at the mercy of electricity and of internet, how is the system protected against that? So that's the only thing I would suggest, that we flesh that response to have in our back pocket, okay? Other than that, everything else that Madonna has shared is something for all participants to take note, but well done, well done.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so very much, OECS team. So Team Trinidad and Tobago, are you ready?
I believe we are back on.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so let me just start my timer. I am ready whenever you are.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, those joining on social media and those listening and following locally and through their field. Today, to discuss the issue of pretrial detention, we have Mrs. Ria Mohammed Pollard. She is the spokesperson for the Caribbean Court of Justice. Now, as you may know, the issue of pretrial detention has been in the news over the last few weeks. Now, this issue has gotten a lot of interest, both online, both in the traditional media. So we're happy to have Mrs. Mohammed Pollard here to address the issue, and she will take your comments and your questions right after her statement. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to join me in welcoming Mrs. Mohammed Pollard for her statement.
Thank you, DK. Good afternoon, everyone. I think the most important point to note on pretrial detention is that it's a human rights issue and it concerns us all. Pretrial detention refers to the lengthy detention of a person awaiting a trial date. And I think the critical thing to note is that it's awaiting a trial date for crimes for which they have been charged, but not necessarily have been convicted for. Another term we use loosely, or I should say is very common, is that on remand, and is also used to describe a detention period for those prisoners who are awaiting the trial. So therefore, when a person's on remand, they are presumed innocent, even if they may very well be guilty of the charges laid against them. I'm sorry, are you all hearing me? Am I? Hello?
Can you loud and clear? Go ahead. This is your.
No, I thought my journalist was supposed to come in at this point in time. I'm sorry, but I'm speaking
Ladies
to the
and gentlemen, thank you, Mrs. Mohammed Pollard. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, I now open the floor for questions. We have Ms. Moore I see Ms. Moore from CCN TV6. She had her hand up, so we could start with Ms. Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Noel. Thank you for having me here today. Ms. Mohammed Pollard, can you please just explain to our viewers today, what exactly is pretrial detention?
Right, as I was saying in my introduction, Ms. Moore, and thank you very much, Ms. Moore, is that pretrial detention refers to that lengthy detention of a person in prison, again, awaiting a trial date for crimes for which they have been charged, not necessarily convicted for, but awaiting that trial date for crimes. I think what is key to know is that the evidence shows that 4 out of 10 people are imprisoned in the Caribbean without a conviction. And that is with the excessive use of pretrial detention or a slow resolution of a person's legal situation. If I may, Ms. Moore, that I may add that out of the 4 of 10 persons who are in prison without a conviction, this undermines the presumption of innocence. And I spoke earlier to the fact that it's a human rights issue, and a human rights issue that concerns us all. So pre-trial, I hope I've answered your question, Ms. Moore.
You have. Now, as you know, the majority of our audience tends to be women. So I was just wondering, how does this particular issue affect women?
Okay, very, 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 very pointed question. Thank you, Ms. Moore. A human rights issue, human rights concerns all of us, but more so the vulnerable groups of women. Women belong to that vulnerable group who are more susceptible to multiple forms of discrimination because of their sex status. And of course, we know that pretrial detention affects not only persons who are detained, but those who have been put on trial. It also affects their families. And women, as a critical, role in society, we lead families, we have high roles in society, and double roles at times. We are also a part of that vulnerable group. And we are, I'm saying we because I am, of course, of that part of that group as a woman. It really relates to the vulnerable group that exists that we are part of. And it not only affects us as a person, but it affects those who depend on us, our families, our children, who we have responsibilities for. Again, Ms. Moore, it's a human rights issue. But yes, we are, of course, looking at that vulnerable group of women, being a vulnerable group.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Do we have any additional questions? Any other members of the media who would like to pose questions to the CCJ representative? If there are no further questions, I'd like to thank the members of the media for their interest in the topic, for being present today, for writing and facilitating the issue both in traditional and social media. And once again, thank you very much to the CCJ rep for making herself available to take your questions. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. DK. Thank you very much, Ms. Moore.
Thank you so very much, Team Trinidad. You stopped at 5:56, so you took 5 minutes and 56 seconds out of an allotted 8.5. All right, so immediately, so DK, you took 45 seconds, and you set the context around the pretrial, right, detention, and then so clarity, fine, good. So we're preparing for pretrial detention. I liked when the spokesperson broke down that technical term into the common term being on remand. So that was good. You also, the spokesperson shared with us that it's a human rights issue, so you contextualized it in that broad area. In that broad understanding, you took just 1 minute and that's 1 minute to lay or to expand on the introduction, and I felt you should have given it some more time because you were allocated 2 minutes to do that. I liked when you complimented the interviewer later on, but I felt that there is a lot of fluff inside there. What I'm coming away with, yes, when the question was asked about impact on women, you spoke about the vulnerable groups, and that was all that. So I'm thinking of myself as a viewer, as a listener, and I'm hearing, okay, people on remand, it's affecting women. Women are a vulnerable group. I didn't hear more, so I think there is, and because you didn't take the full 8 minutes, there's a lot more to pack into there that I think the opportunity was missed. I liked how you connected, where you said, yes, as women, we feel it, and I'm part of that vulnerable groups, there's that connection, but I think even more could have been done for that, to demonstrate that empathy. So I liked how it was framed as a human rights issue. I like the question to focus on women. I felt that there was more that could be done to demonstrate the empathy and that connection. So the proof points, I did not, and I did not write any. I'm not sure that you had any hard data around that. And the stories, right? I liked your pleasing personality. So it connects at that level with the audience. But I think you need to capitalize on that pleasing personality as a spokesperson and getting the data and the emotional connection. Thank you. Carol?
Thank you, Madonna. If I could say that we did point to 4 out of 10 people are in prison without a conviction in the Caribbean. But thank you very much for that positive feedback. Yeah, we did speak to the evidence, but thank you very much for that very positive and constructive feedback.
Right, I didn't write that. Thank you for reminding me about that. Excellent, yes.
Yeah, well, I don't have anything more to add. I recognize the challenge that the CCJ team members have in supporting the lone representative of the Trinidad and Tobago judiciary in this training in doing a topic of import for the Trinidad and Tobago judiciary. So I am absolutely confident that between now and when we actually have the virtual press conference in July of this year, that you will be a lot more comfortable in supplying whatever backup support they would need. You have the moderator understanding even now the how to moderate and the scope and parameters. Just be mindful, and this goes for all participants, the role of the moderator in discussing or permitting questions to be asked outside of the remit of the press conference and the situations in which it is allowed. And so I would leave it at that. I know that you guys are continuing to work in getting that messaging and framing down right. I'm just not clear at this time when we say pre-trial detention, what initiative or reform is going to be spoken of at this press conference? Is it generally just pre-trial detention, or why are we holding this media conference to discuss what initiative, reform, or development is being implemented to address pre-trial detention? You don't have to answer it now, but it's just a question I was left with after listening to what you shared, and also after looking at the submission in terms of the questions that you would want to be asked and the questions that you would not want to be asked. Okay. Thank you, Team Trinidad, CCJ.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you very much.
That note that you've posted, Ria. Is Belize ready?
Yes, we are.
Oh, okay, let's hear Belize. Thank you. Let me just make sure I reset. Ready whenever you are.
Can everyone see me? Hi, good afternoon, Belize. Welcome to the Belize Bitmore Plaza Hotel, where today we'll be hosting the first of its kind media conference hosted by the Judiciary of Belize. We're here today to learn about their new case management tools, which will allow the judiciary to measure the performance of the court in carrying out its exercise for justice. The spokesperson we have here on board for the judiciary is the Registrar General, Ms. Trina Young, who will now take us into the explaining what these new measures are and how they work. Ms. Young?
Thank you very much, Ms. Rowley. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm here to talk about 4 innovative tools that the Belize Judiciary is incorporating into its case management system. The purpose of these tools being incorporated is in order to allow for the case management system to be able to prepare balanced and realistic performance measures that would allow for us to measure, plan, and document success within the judiciary. The tools that I refer to are the clearance rate tool, the age of active pending cases, the time to disposition tool, and the trial date certainty. Now, the clearance rate tools measures whether the court is keeping up with its incoming caseload, and it allows for us to see if cases are disposed of in a timely manner. Where this does not occur, a backlog of cases awaiting disposition will grow, so it will be readily visible what the backlog is in relation to a particular court. The age of active pending cases refers to cases pending before the court and measures the court's number of days from the date of filing until the date that is being measured. The time to disposition tool, that is a measure used in conjunction with the clearance rate and the age of active pending caseload. It is a fundamental management tool that assesses the length of time it takes a court to process cases. It compares a court performance for timely case processing. And finally, as I had mentioned, the trial date certainty. Now, this is one of the most important tools because it creates reports on the number of time cases are disposed of by the trial date, and it allows for the court to measure whether or not its scheduling is in fact effective. And it allows for the court to be able to adjust accordingly. We are excited, as I indicated, about the implementation of these tools and are confident that these will assist in further developing and improving our judiciary. It is the objective of the Belize judiciary that with the development of those tools, it would further embody and instill the values of accessibility and timeliness, which are key to a successful and functioning court system. As you are aware, we have recently put in place legislation which addresses the court date by which judgments are to be delivered by the justices of the court. And as such, it is our view that these tools will assist in ensuring timeliness within the court system.
Thank you, Madam Registrar, for educating us and the public on those new initiatives. And I see on my right here that we have Mr. Kent Ross from Lick Road with the first question. Yes, Mr. Ross, you may go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. And hi, Madam Registrar. It's been a while, So my first question is, okay, we've seen numerous cases whereby those felt justice wasn't served. So due to unrepresentation, and these individuals live in impoverished communities. So from your perspective, do you believe that pro bono should be across the board for civil and criminal matters?
No, this is not an issue for my opinion to be put in place. However, I cannot underscore enough how important it is that the population within our jurisdiction have access to justice. What we must take into consideration, though, is the work being put in place by the Attorney General in administering, expanding the Legal Advice and Services Center. This has been done through training, increase in funding, and as well increasing the number of attorneys that are presently attached within that unit. The purpose of this is to ensure that legal advice is available to persons within all financial brackets.
Not to cut you off, but remember, despite the legal aid services, they do have a fee that one still have to pay. So with regards to that, it's still costly for those who want that.
However, as you are aware, the fee that is incurred at the legal aid system is significantly subsidized. And as such, this allows for persons who would not be able to retain legal counsel independently to have actual representation.
All right. So secondly, let me ask you this one. Now, delay is such a powerful word, especially when one is within the walls of the courtroom. So as it comes to delay in transcript, which weighs heavily and influences heavily on the backlogs, are there anything within the pipeline to alleviate this or shed light to this problem?
There is something when you speak about delay
yeah, with the transcripts and everything within the court.
My apologies.
Yeah.
This is something that we are presently looking at. I am aware that a program is presently being set up, which will address the training of stenographer trainees. As you know, we have two types of stenographers. We have the stenographers who are trained to use the stenographing equipment, and we have those who merely type by hand. We have a program in place that will assist with training for stenographer trainees. And there is also sourcing presently underway for stenographing equipment to assist with persons who are being trained. So the purpose of this is to ensure that there are more persons assisting with the preparation of transcript.
Okay, that would be good. And so, all right, now this one is a two-part question. So as the registrar of the Supreme Court, in regards to files that just magically vanish, are there any check and balance for these files? Are there any one to be held accountable? So so you guys find out that this one was in charge and the files were lost under his supervision. Are there anything put in place for reprimand?
As it relates to the magical disappearance of files, as you put it, there are various steps that are being taken to address this issue. With the assistance of justices of the Supreme Court, a marshal's handbook is being prepared, which addresses this very same issue, setting in place protocols for the handling of case files, and as well creating a chain of custody for the movement of those files. It must further be noted that as well in that handbook, there are disciplinary measures that will be put in place. So marshals are in fact aware of what the ramifications are where files would in fact go missing under their watch. As you also know, we recently put in place an e-filing system. Now, the benefits of this e-filing system is that case files as of May 2021 are digitized as they are inputted into the e-filing system. So there is a digital record of those documents. We have a program that is being planned as we speak with the assistance of the University of Belize to further digitize the documents predating May of 2021.
I hate to interrupt, but you have exceeded the allocated time. It's now 9 minutes and 42 seconds that you have taken. But thank you so very much, Belize.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. Lots to share. Wow. And Mr. Ross reveled in his role.
I know, I was wondering if he works for me or he works against me.
Stan Trenia, you understand. I'm saying, but wait a minute, and he's so relaxed as a journalist. Are you in the right profession?
Well, I got assistance, man.
So let's go. Okay. So the introduction was quite succinct, 45 seconds. The opening comments, 3 minutes. You took, and you started off quite strongly that there were 4 tools. So I am waiting for this interview to focus on my 4 tools: clearance rate, age of active, time to disposition, trial date. And I mean, you went, powerfully to share the benefits. I loved the adjectives. It's most important. We were excited, we were confident. So you started off very well. But then these very sexy and happy journalists derailed you. And they would tend to do that. And it was an opportunity for you to bridge this first question, when you talk about pro bono or field question completely and you didn't bring him back to your core. So the objective.
You are right. You are right.
You come to this. So here am I as a journalist. I come to this media conference and you're talking and I'm ready at the chops. And my boy just take over this interview. And so now the light is on him, right? And therefore, what are we carrying away for our news story? Not what you say, no. So you allow the journalist to derail you. So the objectives were lost there. But you know, the thing is, you are rich with information, but you need to harness that within the framework of why you came to this interviewer. When he asked about the pro bono and he started to acknowledge the work of the Attorney General's office, I thought you were going to bring him back to any one of these points that you're talking about, whether it's a trial date or something, but you didn't do that. And he continued to derail you, right? The pro bono and the fees and so on. So I think your strength in the opening, the benefits, the connective words, I think you lost that along the way. Okay. But apart from that, I was quite happy with the ease and your content and your personality and the language. But I think you missed the opportunity to use a technique, the bridging technique, and bring it back to the core purpose of the.
And I could have done that, especially when he went back again at the legal aid thing. I could have snipped it there and said, well, Mr. Ross, as you are aware, the focus here is in fact on this. So I could have done that there, yes.
And I'm glad. It's great that you picked it up. Excellent. And that's part of the learning. You picked it up, you saw it, and then you'll know how to tweak with it. Mm-hmm. Caroline, excellent. I shouldn't say excellent, almost excellent.
So I want to say well done again.
A PJ.
Well done all around. I'm looking at the moderator, how she opened, recognizing and congratulating the team in identifying some tough curveball questions and being prepared. Part of our preparation is anticipating the killer questions, and this is what's going to allow you to comfortably deal with your virtual or actually in-person media conference, right? Now, what registrar demonstrates to us and what it should demonstrate to us is the importance of having a strong spokesperson who is aware of all aspects, not just the courts, but the judiciary. At the same time, you don't have to be taken down a rabbit hole because you have this vast array of information about all aspects of the justice system to speak to it. As Madonna said, you have an interview objective, and I did notice you tried to use that blocking and bridging when you said it's not a matter of my personal opinion, X, Y, and Z. So I saw you introduce it, but the X, Y, and Z part, we just need to flesh that out. I know time was against you, but I saw the application when you picked up, he heard about what do you think? What is your opinion on this issue, right? So good for that. You repeated his statement about the magical disappearance of files. And while I know that you are genuinely relatable and it was a light moment, I would not repeat that. I would say simply as it relates to files that have gone missing, this is what we have in place. So remember what we spent time talking about today. Let's not start our responses with a negative. Let's not start no or that won't. Let's find a way to rephrase. That's why this exercise is important, so that when you are practicing, you can look at those negative statements. Don't incorporate their negative allegations or the emotional words in your responses, okay? And the only thing I would say is, and this is for everybody, you would have been emailed the evaluation checklist for the virtual media conference. And the evaluation checklist, in essence, guides you as to what constitutes good answers. So when we talk about the identification of the stakeholders who would benefit from this initiative, right? We heard about the benefits, but I really couldn't say, well, what's in it for me? I honestly couldn't say that. And I'm just flagging to you all to go back and to look at it, look at the evaluation sheet. Those are good guides as to what would constitute good answers. I love the fact that you included a key message about the judiciary, right? You said that as part and as core of the judiciary, we believe in access to justice, and that's important. I can connect with that. That was a relatable, universal statement. And I want to encourage us to use those things in our responses. So well done. I look forward to your virtual media conference. I know that you're going to continue working on this week by week. And well done, Belize.